Good afternoon. Today, we stand here and we see the Singapore River. It is the lifeblood of this island, and today where we are is the economic heart of Singapore. But 70 years ago, on Monday, 8th December 1941, at about 4 o'clock in the morning, while we were asleep, the first bombs were dropped on Singapore. And amongst the various places hit, bombs landed at Raffles Place. The Japanese wanted to demonstrate that they could strike at the heart of Singapore. The air raid sirens sounded, but the street lamps remained alight. Death, destruction resulted when only days earlier, people believed that Singapore was an impregnable fortress east of the Suez. But today we stand here amidst the bright sunshine, comfortable. There are pubs down that way, makan places, business centers. What can happen here? We are safe physically. The SAF stands ready to defend our sovereignty and to ensure that this does not happen again. And in case you're wondering, no, I'm not going to talk about the opposition's defense policies. But 70 years ago, we were caught sleeping, complacent. 70 years later, are we similarly so? Do we take what we have as a given? Do we assume that what we have today will continue tomorrow? How many of you here believe that the world is actually getting less complex and less challenging? It is not, isn't it? It is becoming even more important that we need to be united and decisive going forward, because I think the world will pass us by if we become irrelevant. For many of you here, you know that decisions are not always straightforward and easy. Sometimes they are, often not. Difficult choices need to be made, just as there are trade-offs at every corner because of competing needs and demands. I really wish life was as simple as that, as the way some argue it to be. I am not blessed with 6/6 hindsight wisdom. But what I also do know is that I am not prepared to gamble away our children's future on the basis of bravado and rhetoric, nice-sounding ideas and theories. If we lived in a different world, I may perhaps be tempted. But we live in this world. And in this world, strong governance and a strong mandate by our people has been the key to our success. This mandate comes at the ballot box, and it also comes with the trust and respect earned through the good times and the bad, through the big things that we do and the little things that we do and say, and the way we do it. For a country like Singapore, a strong mandate is important because it enables us to make the hard decisions and the long-term plans. When we lose that trust and respect, this mandate erodes. And with that, we begin to fight from elections to elections and become short-termist like others. But the big difference is this: other countries can still get by because of their size and their resources. We do not have that. What do you think will be our future if we are not able to carry out long-term and sometimes difficult, unpopular decisions? The key, therefore, is our ability to continue to earn your trust and respect. Today, many do still support the PAP. You recognize our strengths and our ability. And deep down, many of you know that this party can lead us forward to secure our future. But some of you have doubts and are troubled, angry even. There is frustration and angst. Some feel that you are being talked down to, that there's not enough listening, that we can be more compassionate and less calculative. Many of you feel that we need to be more accommodative of differing views. Some dislike the ways which we attack the opposition. Some question the fairness of the GRC system. Others feel aggrieved by the salary structures. Again, at the heart of it all is that sense of trust. And whether real or not, if we are unable to address these perceptions and sentiments, our moral authority to lead will erode. I know we need to listen and to communicate our ideas better. We need to balance efficiency and effectiveness and to temper it with more heart. Sometimes less is more, slower is faster. I do not believe that we monopolize wisdom. I feel that if it is pro-Singapore, it matters little where those views come from. I believe we can and should embrace them in ways that make sense. Why? Because we need to walk this journey together. The way forward can be a depressing nightmare as we slide slowly into the dustbins of history, or it can be an exciting adventure to look forward to secure our future. The world is complex and challenging, but you can also imagine the opportunities and possibilities that abound if we get it right. Our physical transformation, you look around you, is exciting, it's impressive, and we are growing our abilities across many fronts. But we also need to tend to our spirit and to our soul. We are best placed to lead our country forward. We have a very strong record. Not a perfect one, but one in which, in the cold light of day, you know has provided us with what we have and will take us forward. But you also want to know if we are a party with ears to listen, a heart to care, and who serves to lead. I know I will listen with respect. I will care for those who are less able to fend for themselves. And I will have the courage to do what is right and to change what has to be changed. Singapore is what it is because we have walked this path together. You have given us your mandate, your trust and respect. We have weathered many storms together and have overcome many obstacles that would have crippled others. But here we are today. Just look around you. Look at your friends standing beside you. And look inside you. There is something special and remarkable about being Singapore and being Singaporean, isn't it? And it's something to be proud of. I believe and know that we will change and we will do better. Just as I know that we will continue to endeavor to put our people and our nation and our future first. I know that we can look forward with confidence and to secure our future. I ask for your trust as we take this journey together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuan Jin.